Hello and welcome, student athletes and parents. My name is Steve Setmiller, Senior Coordinator of Athletics. Today we will hear from some of our Norfolk Public School athletic trainers about concussion education, which will help you, the student athlete, stay safe and healthy, and you, the parent, informed about what to watch for when dealing with your child's concussion. First, let's go over some of the NPS rules for participation. To participate in any NPS athletics, you must acknowledge the assumed risk and hazards of competing in a sport. You accomplish this by completing a pre-participation physical, watching this video on concussion education, and returning the signed consent form of acknowledgement. A concussion is defined as a disturbance in brain function that occurs following either a blow to the head or as a result of violent shaking of the head. The state of Virginia passed a law requiring parents and guardians and student athletes to be aware of signs and symptoms of a concussion and what to do if one occurs. The purpose of the law is to aid in the prevention of further head injuries, like what we're about to hear.
Drinking all the gas.
Life was good for Preston Plevrides as a senior at Marlboro High School in New Jersey.
I guess.
He was charismatic, handsome, captain and MVP of the football team.
Everyone looked up to him, kind of. I mean, that's kind of how he was around our school.
And he'll take Briggs back to midfield, and Briggs now returning it over the 40. And there's an injured player down. Boy, I did not like the looks of how I saw him lying there on that field.
If you have a blow to the head, that's sufficient enough to cause the brain to move inside the skull. A certain neurochemical called potassium is released outside of the neuron. At the same time, a second neurochemical, calcium, which is supposed to be outside the cell, it leaks into the neuron. And for some reason, a second blow during this period of metabolic crisis will set off a cascade of events that you can't turn back from. And that's when you see the massive brain swelling.
Preston said to me he doesn't blame the game. The only thing Preston blames is lack of knowledge.
Now let's hear from one of our student athletes about his experience dealing with a concussion.
Well, it wasn't one significant hit in the game. It was throughout the game there were multiple hits to the head, and as the game progressed, the symptoms significantly it just got worse. Initially, I did hide it for the remainder of the game, and then after that, I realized how severe it was, and I reported it to the athletic trainer. On the first day back to school, the following Monday, sitting in class, I just wasn't able to complete any of the assignments. I was very spaced out, and I just started to suffer like migraines. The following Monday, I tried to go to practice, and I was, almost like unresponsive. And as we started running and exercising, it just started to get worse with the more physical activity. The symptoms of my concussion last for a good 2 weeks, and the third week after that, I can only do small amounts of exercise. Without the information that NPS provided on concussions to me and my parents, I don't think that today I would be here the same. So I probably would have returned to play too soon and possibly injured myself more severely.
Now let's hear what NPS has developed to ensure that we are taking the proper steps to treat and manage every athlete's concussion.
If the athletic trainer suspects a concussion by observed mechanism of injury, obvious lack of awareness, or reported symptoms, a concussion evaluation will be performed. Signs the athletic trainer will look for are: if you appear dazed or stunned, look confused about assignments and positions, forget instructions and answer questions slowly or inaccurately, are unsure of game, score, or opponent, have loss of balance, coordination, and move clumsily, show mood, behavior, or personality changes, cannot recall events prior to the hit or fall, cannot recall events after hit or fall. Also, the athletic trainer will look for symptoms such as headache or pressure in the head, nausea or vomiting, balance problems or dizziness, sensitivity to light or sound and noise, feeling sluggish, hazy, groggy or foggy, difficulty with concentration, short-term memory and or confusion, double vision or changes in vision, irritability, just not feeling right or feeling down. If the athletic trainer finds symptoms present of a concussion, you will be removed from play. All athletes who sustain a concussion will be referred to our NPS concussion specialist or a physician trained in concussion management of your own choice. The specialist will develop a return-to-learn academic plan for the classroom, along with releasing the athlete to begin our NPS 6-stage return-to-play protocol once signs and symptoms of the concussion are no longer present. Throughout your return-to-play protocol, the activities you complete will progressively become more strenuous both on the brain and body. When completing Stage 4, a post-concussion impact test will be completed. This assesses your pre-concussion baseline scores, which are collected prior to the start of the sports season, and compare them to your post-injury concussion scores. These scores or comparisons will be analyzed to help us determine if you are safe to return to contact. After you have successfully proven that your mental state has returned to baseline, you will progress to Stage 5, which is a full contact practice. Lastly, if no signs and symptoms return during contact practice, you will be progressed to Stage 6, which is a return to full contact event or game.
Please take time to review the signs and symptoms of a concussion listed on page 1 of the concussion waiver form you will receive after watching this video. I encourage all coaches, parents, and student athletes to report a concussion and never to hide it. For all of us involved with sports medicine here at Norfolk Public Schools, we thank you for your time and willingness to educate yourselves on concussions, which will help keep our children safe. Please visit these websites listed for additional information.